Hello, everyone, and welcome along to this live webinar. And today our topic is mortgages, buy-to-let mortgages, how to obtain finance either for a new purchase or if you want to raise capital from your existing properties. My co-host is Simi, our head of mortgages. Hey, Simi, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining.
So if you watch this video on our YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe to get more relevant content. And I will go over the agenda. Before that, I would say that we are running a promotion like we do on many webinars today for our premium plan, which also contains some benefits if you apply for mortgage, remortgage, or bridging finance. And I will share all the details with you shortly. I will now share the agenda. Yeah. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll start with a brief introduction and a summary about the market from Simi, the buy-to-let market, mortgages, remortgages, and what we see right now. And then we will start demoing the Lendlord platform to show you how you can utilize the software, the account to understand your finance options in a digital way. So we'll start with how you can discover which lenders are available for you for a new mortgage and which lenders are not. Then how you can find the best product and basically perform any search for buy-to-let mortgage / remortgage. Then how you can get notified on refinance opportunities and product transfers. Then we will show you how you can apply online for a mortgage or a remortgage and how you can review and track your mortgage applications. And in the end, we will have a session for questions and answers. During the webinar, you feel free to write questions on the chat. And if it's relevant, we try to, or we will answer as we go. But if not, we will have time in the end to answer. So, Simi, perhaps we can start with high-level summary about how we see the market.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So at the start of 2024, we saw lenders reduce rates, which increased activity in the market, which we hoped would last throughout the year. However, we saw the base rate continue to be held at 5.25% for the whole year up until very recently on the 1st of August, where the base rate finally was cut by 0.25%. Since that base rate cut, this has been really positive overall, as most lenders have started to reduce their rates, and those on tracker mortgages are finally seeing a fall in their monthly payments. In the buy-to-let market, rate reductions are really important because they help improve and lower lender stress tests, enabling borrowers to be able to borrow more, because the way in which a lender calculates the available lending is using a stress test. So the lower the interest rates are, the lower the stress test will be, enabling you to borrow what you need or borrow more. Just a little update on inflation as well, as it's so closely linked to interest rates. So inflation has also reduced significantly to 2.2%, which is well below its peak, where we saw it at around 11.1% in October 2022. Now, 2.2% is still behind the Bank of England's target at 2%. So there's still work to do, but it's important that inflation remains low as possible, as the primary way to tackle inflation is by raising interest rates, which obviously we don't want to see. The Bank of England has a further 3 reviews of the base rate before the end of the year, so hopefully we will see another reduction by the end of 2024. There are predictions flying about that hopefully we'll see another cut around October time, which hopefully should set us up nicely for 2025, and we'll hopefully see rates reduce even further. But obviously we don't know exactly what will happen, but everything's moving in the right direction, which is good.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Simi. And now, before we start the demo, I want just to highlight the special promotion that we are running during this webinar time. So, as you know, Lendlord is free software, free to use, but we do have a premium plan. And if you want to do a bit more with the platform and use extra features, then you should upgrade to the premium plan. The premium plan will allow you, for instance, on the invest part of the platform, if you want to source properties, you have access to the full address on the sourcing pages. You can contact the agent. You can run unlimited estimations for property value and for rental income. You can define sourcing alerts and then create your own search criteria and get notifications when new properties are being uploaded to the platform, properties that match your criteria. You can also add properties to your watch list. On the deal analyzer, which is we just renewed the deal analyzer, and you can see that we support 3 main strategies: buy to let, flip, and BRRR. And here you can also get estimations about the property value and the rental income, unlimited on the premium plan. You can also generate a report about the deal. It's also part of the premium plan. And you can perform unlimited postcode information, which is very important when before you purchase a property to do a proper due diligence. Everything is in the premium plan. On the manage section of the platform, you can manage unlimited documents and share package of documents with others in the premium plan. You can invite your tenants to their own dashboards, and you can link your bank account and reconcile transactions automatically. All of this on the premium plan. On the finance side, we have some special benefits, and you can get a £150 discount on your first application for mortgages in terms of broker fees, and £150 on bridging arrangement fee as well. And Simi, we decided for this webinar, if you upgrade to premium using the coupon code I will show you today, and you submit a mortgage application with us by the end of the year, we will double the discount to £300 for mortgages. The way to upgrade is to you can go to the settings page, then you can, from the account information, click upgrade, then click add coupon, and here enter webinar 2808 and click apply, and you will get the premium plan for 50% off for the first year. So usually it's £99. You can get it for 49.5 only during the webinar time. The alternative is £12 per month, so it's very valuable. You can get all of those benefits, and also the benefits in terms of the mortgage applications. So yeah, so you have this option, and now I will share the coupon code again on the chat, and let's start with the agenda for today. So the first item is how to discover which lenders are available based on your profile. Simi, perhaps if you want a few words about lenders' criteria and what basically they look at if you are an existing landlord, or if you are a newbie, or like
yeah. So the main criteria points, kind of generally speaking, is that lenders will look at if you own a property, so whether that be a residential or a buy-to-let, they'll look at the length of time you've owned that property, if you have any landlord experience. They'll also look at the size of your portfolio. So most high street lenders will normally will consider an application if you've got up to 10 properties. If after kind of 10 properties, you might need more of a specialist lender. And lenders will also look at things like your income, what the property is generating, what your personal income is, to, fund any void periods if there are any. So that's kind of the main criteria: just property ownership, landlord experience, and having an income available.
Yeah. All right. And basically you can review everything on Lendlord as well. Excuse me for a second. Yeah. Let me share again the screen. So I switched to a different account. This is a premium account with more data. So first on the manage side, you can see on the menu, you have invest. Here you can find properties to buy, can analyze the potential return, and get some information about postcodes. On the manage section, this is the place to manage your existing portfolio. The main page for that will be my portfolio. So here you can add all of your properties, or you can upload a spreadsheet if you maintain one. We capture more than 150 different data items on each property. Having said that, there are no mandatory fields. So if you want to start working with Lendlord, you can start with typing, entering some basic information, and then you can tweak and add more information as you go. But this is also important for the platform to stress test your portfolio, understand your options in terms of lending, because the engines in the background will analyze your portfolio. So after you entered all of your properties to my portfolio, of course, it will help you to manage your data and tenants, tenancies, rent collection, everything, but it will also help you to understand your finance option. Then on the finance side, finance section from the menu, I would start with available lenders. So the available lenders page is basically a summary of your mortgages, and you can filter by owners. So on Lendlord, you can manage more than one owner. On each property, you just need to define in the owners section the owners of this property and the percentage of the ownership, or if it's a company, a limited company owned, you can also mention that. And basically, this will tell the platform if you apply with a partner, what will be the result. Basically, lenders, and correct me if I'm wrong, Simi, lenders will take a look. If I apply with a partner, they will look at the combined portfolio of the two partners together.
Yeah, that's correct. They'll look at any properties jointly owned, or if, applicant one owns multiple properties, applicant two might be a first-time buyer, they'll look at a joint application altogether.
Right.
That's really helpful in terms of income as well. If, maybe wife isn't working or husband's not working, it works really well for joint application.
Yeah, so basically we take everything into account. And then basically you can see that if I apply by myself, this is the list of lenders that are available for me. This is the list of lenders that are not in with the reason. I can change to a different applicant and see other lenders. And as I mentioned, we also stress test the entire portfolio. So you can start with this page to understand in general which lenders are available for you. Then in terms of, and this is the next topic, how to find the best product. So let's say that you have now a potential purchase. Here, basically, you need to go to the mortgage remortgage page from the finance side, from the finance section, and start the search. But there are other places in the platform that this search is available. So for instance, on the invest part of the platform, if you use the deal analyzer to analyze a buy-to-let deal, you can put the details of your potential purchase. Of course, you can tweak the data using the edit button, and you can see the results in terms of the potential return, the potential the metrics for the short term and for the long term. But you can also click on this button, finance this deal, and the platform will search in the background, and we have a live feed to buy-to-let lenders, and you can see the products that are available for you to finance this specific deal. So this is one place. You can also go to your My Portfolio, and if there are properties, so I use this view, and you can define basically any view. The equity view can show me on each property, how much equity I currently have, and the loan to value. You can also order by. So let's say I want to raise capital on one property. I just hover over this property row, click on the three dot, and click remortgage. And this will take me to the remortgage page with all the details of this property. And here I can just decide if I want to take a look on a fixed product, 2 years fixed or 5 years fixed. And I can see the results from buy-to-let lenders. And you can also add extra loan if you want to raise more capital and see the results that are available. And here you can find the feed basically from the lenders. This is a live feed, so it changes. Simi, you tell me the frequency, but I think it can change.
Yeah. So just on the rates, so wherever I mentioned it's a live feed of the rates, so we use a sourcing platform for our lenders via 27 Tech. So that's where we get access to all of our lenders. So it's pretty much all of the lenders on the market except a tiny handful. So this is linked to 27 Tech. So the rates that you see are live available rates on 27 Tech. So as lenders update their rates via the sourcing system, it then gets pulled through to the tech on Lendlord. So it's always accurate. Those rates are available, if you go on the lender websites now. So it's linked to our sourcing platform, which lenders update their rates on.
Yeah, and another thing that you can see that on this specific case, basically it failed the stress test on the property level as well. So the property ICR is the interest cover ratio. So basically lenders will want to see that there is enough rental income in the property to cover the mortgage payments at a higher rate. So you can see that the current rental income for this is a remortgage for this property is 1,300. Because of that, it failed with several lenders. So basically, if I can change it, for instance, to let's increase it, and perhaps I will see more results. So the platform will do it for you. So I'm just doing it to see. Okay, so those lenders are now available, and I can see the rates. But of course, that you need to have this rental income in order to get options for from those lenders. Simi, one more thing about, I think that what is important is to take a look on the fees as well. So you can find lower interest rates, but higher fees. This case is for 2 years, but you can run the same experiment for 5 years. And sorry, 1 second.
I'll give you a bit of an overview on the rates at the moment. So where you'll see, rates well below the base rate, for example, at 3.49%, but it has a higher fee. When we kind of started seeing products with higher arrangement fees, we asked our lenders why this was and why they were doing it. And the rationale is the lower the stress test based on that interest rate, the more you can borrow. So where lenders had higher rates, particularly post mini budget, we saw a lot of borrowers just not being able to pass a stress test. So lenders have tried to be creative where they reduce their rates well below the base rate, where they don't make any money on those rates because it's well below the base rate and swap rates. They now make their money on the fees. So in order, if you're struggling with the stress test, it makes sense to go for the lower interest rate so you can get through the stress test. But if you're not struggling, it might be worth looking at a product with a slightly higher rate, lower fee. It also just depends entirely on your preference. Sometimes we send an option, and you might just not look. You might look at the monthly the arrangement fee and just think, I kind of want a product with no fee or lower arrangement fees. So you can really play around with the platform and see what fits your preferences most.
Yeah. Another parameter is the total cost. So here basically we calculate if it's a 2-year product, the fees plus the interest for 2 years, and then you can compare by that as well. You can use this order by link to get the table sorted. So this is the way to do the initial research, and of course that we have a team in the background that you can schedule call with. We will put the links to schedule calls. I think Amir already put the links on the chat. And we also are going to enhance it, the platform, that you can see some, like, to compare 2 years to 5 years. There are some plans around that, and also perhaps to get more than one mortgage illustration. So the next topic is how to get notified. You know what, I will skip the notifications about refinance for now, because I want to keep the flow, and I will show you now how you can apply online. So the first step is to get the mortgage illustration. Simi, can you perhaps a few words about mortgage illustrations? What is a mortgage illustration? And
Yeah. Absolutely. So a mortgage illustration is a product, is a product sheet essentially. So it's a information sheet which outlines all of the product details. So you'll have there the lender's details, the mortgage amount you've applied for, the assumed property value, any fees associated with the product, and also things like your monthly payment, any early repayment charges. So it's all of the product offerings in one document. So when we get a mortgage inquiry, we first assess, all of the details, the stress test. We make sure that you meet the lender's criteria. We do kind of a double check. And then we upload your mortgage illustration, and there you'll be able to review all of the product details that you've applied for, we've recommended to you.
Yeah. So if you want to get them to review your mortgage illustration online and start the process to submit application with the lender, you just need to click on the review your mortgage illustration. You need to select a product, but this product may change. Yeah, Simi, like basically after you review the case, discuss with the customer, then perhaps there is a better option. Then click proceed. And here basically you need to fill in some information. If you maintain your account on Lendlord, this information or some of this information will be already in your account. Then there are several questions we will ask in order to provide you with more accurate mortgage illustration. Some questions about credit history. We're not performing any search at this stage, and basically I believe just when you submit application to the lender, this will be on the lender side. This is just to get the mortgage illustration. And then
yeah, these questions are just for criteria, just to make sure that you meet the lender's criteria before we recommend a product. So there's only a credit search done when we get to the application stage. So yeah, super early stages.
Yeah, and then just need to click proceed. And Simi, perhaps from your side, you can now, if you can see this
yeah,
we'll show you basically what happens. So after the team reviewing the case, usually within 24 hours, you should get your mortgage illustration, and then you will also get a notification to your email, or if you use our mobile app, to your mobile, that your mortgage application slash mortgage inquiry progressed. And
that should now be uploaded.
All right. Perfect. You can see that the inquiry submitted completed, and you are in this stage of review mortgage illustration. You can see it here. And here, as Timmy mentioned, you will see all the fees, the interest, and all the information related to this potential mortgage. And you can also download the file and review it after from your Lendlord account at any point. Then if you wish to proceed, then at this stage, you need to approve the terms and conditions and basically start the process to submit application. You can upload all the documents that the lender will need in order to underwrite your case. There is another option, is to send email to our team. It's also something that is possible. If you maintain documents on the My Documents page, you basically will just need to tick the documents and it will be copied to your application. And then I think, Simi, if then can you explain again, perhaps not again, but perhaps explain about the documents, the requirements for documents and this
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, of course. So this part is where we've agreed on the product and now we're going to prepare your application to be submitted. So we'll request documents which the lender will need. So kind of generic documents will be your passport, so proof of ID, a proof of address, which is normally the utility bill, council tax bill, or a driving license, last 3 months bank statements for personal account or limited company, and then also your proof of income, so pay slips, last 2 years tax calculations and tax year overviews. From our side, once we've had a call with you and we can see that maybe you're self-employed or employed, we can then, request certain documents or, kind of remove whatever you need. So for example, pay slips, you won't require if you're self-employed. So this is kind of just, before we submit your application, we're preparing everything, making sure we've got all your documents. And on my side as well, once you've uploaded a document, I can click if it's all been verified, if we're all happy with it, or we can request more documents at that stage as well.
Yeah. All right. So, Simi, now perhaps you can progress this application.
Yeah.
So the next step will be to submit application to the lender.
That should now be a submit application.
All right. All right. So you should click on submit application. And at this stage, your application is now with the lender, the buy-to-let lender. They received all the documents and they will start the process. And you can see here all the steps. So initial agreement received, underwriting stage, property valuation, valuation review, final underwriting review, and application approved. You can get notifications on each step that's been progressed. Yeah, see, you want perhaps to say a few words about this process with the lender and the different lenders and the timeline for those steps usually.
Yeah. So each lender will have their own timelines based on, how busy they are, how quickly they can process applications. So each lender will have different service levels. Typically for a limited company application, it can take anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to be approved. For a personal application, normally anywhere from kind of 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the lender. After that process, you will need to have, if it's a purchase or remortgage, you'll have a conveyancing process as well. That part depends on the speed of your solicitor, but typically, once you've submitted an application, lenders will have a certain amount of days where they'll underwrite your application. Once we give them documents, they then review the documents. They can take a couple of days to be reviewed, picked up. At that stage, the full underwriting stage as well, evaluation will also be instructed. So the time to go out to view the property, for the valuer to send through a valuation report, and then for the lender to assess it, that can take some time. So that's kind of mainly what the underwriting process is made up of. But if that's all satisfactory and goes to plan, then the mortgage offer will be issued. But at each stage of the process, you'll have someone updating you throughout, whether it's online or via email. You'll never be left chasing us for updates. We're really proactive in the way we deal with our lenders, and also our solicitors as well. It wouldn't just drop off when you get the mortgage offer. We offer a fully rounded process.
All right, thanks, Simi. I see we have some questions, but we can answer. Perhaps let's just complete the process and then we can also answer out loud. So now let's say that we completed all of those steps. So to see, perhaps try to progress the application and to upload the mortgage offer.
Do you want me to upload an offer?
Yeah, just for the example. So
Sure, I'll do that now.
So I will just emphasize again that the strength of having this online application is that you can, at any time, you can just log into your Lendlord account and review the details. You can see the mortgage illustration, the mortgage offer once it's ready, or the steps that being progressed with the lender. So very convenient to do it from in a digital way. But of course, we also have the team in the background. And then
Something I'd also want to add in terms of having the online process, which I think, definitely differentiates us from other brokers, is because we've got the sourcing platform where you can see the live rates. I think that gives, our clients full visibility on the market at all times throughout the process. So, we're kind of held accountable as well in that sense that, we're having to make sure we're giving you the best rate possible because you can also see the rates. And I think it's great that, as clients, you can track rates yourself and see if actually maybe I want to switch to a different product. And you can also have a play around with it. So it really does get you involved in the process as well.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so now we got a mortgage offer. You can review it in-app or download it. And here basically you can either accept or decline. If you accept, it will go to the next step, which is the legal processing. Say me a few words about this phase. What happens?
Yeah, so once your mortgage offer has been issued by the lender, a copy is then sent to your solicitor. So that's normally within 3 to 5 days, your solicitor will get a copy of the offer. If it's a purchase, then the solicitor will start checking things like deposit, they'll look at local searches, they'll carry those out, and they'll also start liaising with the seller's solicitor. Where it's a remortgage, it's a little bit more simple, that they'll look at, who your existing lender is, what the redemption statement is. They'll do various ID checks. So it's a bit less stressful for a remortgage for sure. So that process will really just depend on how fast your solicitor is. Sometimes solicitors can take a while to check documents, to get various things out in the post and vice versa when you're sending out mortgage deeds and things. So I would advise on that front would just be to get a really proactive solicitor to speed up the process. So it saves you having to kind of chase them when you've sent documents and things like that. But that process in terms of timescales will really just depend on the solicitor. But, we've seen it be done before in 2 weeks for a remortgage. So it just really depends on the solicitor. But we can also put you in touch with solicitors that we recommend as well, or we've got relationships with, because it just makes it easier for us to just pick up the phone and ask, what's going on with cases. So we can guide you through all of that.
All right. Sonia asks, I have a premium account. Am I still charged any broker fees, or in this including the account? So if you upgraded to premium, and let me also remind you that you have the benefit during this webinar time to upgrade with 50% off. You just go to the settings page, click upgrade, click add coupon, and webinar 2808, apply, and you can get the discount. So as part of the premium plan, you have some benefits for fees, and on broker fees is £150 discount for your first application. On bridge is £150 discount on the arrangement fee. And for this webinar, we have the emailing list. So if you just upgrade to premium using the coupon code, if you're already a premium user, you just need to mention that you attended to this webinar, registered to this webinar. We have the list of emails that registered to this webinar, and you will get the broker fee discount doubled to £300. So yeah, the premium plan is not just for the fees discount, is also very valuable if you use the platform to manage your existing portfolio or to invest more and find more opportunities and use the deal analyzer and the sourcing tabs. So yeah, so it's a great opportunity to upgrade. Again, just need to go to your settings page, click upgrade, and then click add coupon, webinar 2808, and you will get Discount is for the first year. The second year will be £99, and it's for the annual plan only. So you can still choose the monthly plan of £12 per month. All right, let's continue. The next topic is notifications. So yeah, we jumped on this one. So how to get notification on refinance opportunities on when basically you need to renew your mortgage products. So on your Lendlord account, on my portfolio, when you enter the data of your properties on the mortgage section, you can enter all the details, but also the rate expiry date. So this is mainly for fixed products. I think from our research, the majority of the products are fixed currently in the UK. And then what happens is if you want to remortgage, either to switch lender or to raise more capital during the fixed product term, if it's 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, then there are penalties. There are early redemption fees. But if there are some exit points, the exit will be when the rate is expired. And at this stage, you can either stay with the same lender, and then it's called product transfer or rate switch. So basically, you stay with the same lender, you just get the available rates they have today, or you can go and remortgage with a new lender and perhaps also raise more capital if the value of your property has increased with no penalties. Simi, you want perhaps like to elaborate more?
Yeah, just to adding on to that, so the rate expiry date on your portfolio is one of the most important bits of information we can have. Reason being, because obviously, you know, when your fixed rate's ending, we can switch you on to a different product with either your existing lender or a new lender. But adversely, if, for example, you didn't put that rate in and we didn't know to contact you, or you didn't keep track of it, you could fall onto your lender's standard variable rate. And where rates are at the moment, standard variable rates are between 8 and 9%, which is super expensive. So that bit of information is just so important on your portfolio. We'll also look to contact you as well 6 months before your fixed rate's ending to make sure that you don't fall onto your lender's standard variable rate as well. So 6 months will give us enough time to secure a new mortgage product and set your new rate up until completion. So if your fixed rate doesn't end for another 6 months, we can secure the product, keep track of the available options, and then switch your rate before once your fixed rate's ended. So cannot stress enough to make sure that you have your rate expiry date on there.
Yeah, and there is this wizard's due date setup. It's a quick way to just enter all the due dates for each property in a quick wizard. You just need to put the date and click update. So your EPC, for each property, you have several events during the lifetime of the property, of the holding period, that you need to take care of. So basically on Lendlord, you can manage all of those due dates. And then on the tasks page, you will get automated tasks created based on the due dates, but you can also add your own tasks with due dates. And you can also watch it on a calendar view as well. This will also appear on your dashboard. So if you use Lendlord and you manage all the dates, you will get notified when you need to take action. All right, so now perhaps you can go to questions and answers.
Yeah, we've got quite a few questions, so I'll run through them.
Yeah.
So one of the questions was about the mortgage application. Is it a hard check or soft check on your credit score? So firstly, the digital mortgage application doesn't do any credit checks. Credit checks are only done once we've got your documents and we submit something to a lender. So your mortgage will be submitted in two parts. So the first part of the application process is a decision in principle. And now that's kind of more basic information. And that will give you an immediate accept or decline if the lender, you meet the criteria, the figures add up, the affordability and stress test fit. So if that is an accept, you then go to the full application where the underwriting process begins. We send the lender documents and evaluations instructed. And that's at that stage is when a hard credit check is carried out. But to be honest, normally if you get through the first part of the decision in principle, it's likely to go through the hard check anyway. So we can obviously advise you and guide you through that process. Okay, another question. If you are unable to prove your employment status, would the mortgage application be based upon savings? In most cases, they wouldn't accept savings. So the reason lenders want you to be able to evidence an income is just in case that there's a void period, the property's empty. They want reassurance that you can afford the mortgage payment, so you're not going to default. So if you're employed, lenders typically want last 3 months pay slips. If you're self-employed, normally lenders only want 1 year's tax calculations and tax year overviews. If you're a professional landlord and your primary income is from rental, that's absolutely fine as long as you've got a tax calculation available. So yeah, we just need to be able to show that there's an evidence in the case of a void period. Another question, this is a really good question actually, are all lenders legitimized? So it shouldn't matter too much who you pick if they're on the Lendlord page. So all of the lenders that we work with are regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. So all kind of banks, high street lenders, building societies. So whichever one you pick, you're going to get the same service in terms of when we provide you with the documents, the mortgage illustrations, the mortgage offers. Each lender will do things differently, have a different process, but every single lender we work with is regulated. So yeah, you can pick anyone, and we'll obviously as well advise you if we think that lender. We'll be really honest in our assessment as well. We'll say, you've picked a lender, but their service levels are really poor at the moment. We'd recommend another lender. So we'll help you throughout. Another question we've got, is the process lengthier for non-UK residents, international investors? Yeah, there's a lot more documents to get through. There's only a handful of lenders as well who will lend to expats or foreign nationals. So the checks are a bit more strenuous, but it won't take like 4 months. It might take, up to a month and a half or something. Another question is, how long does it take to get a response for bridging finance for BR? That's normally, I believe, Avram, correct me if I'm wrong, up to 10 days to get funds.
Get funds, but to get the response, it's basically immediate. So based on BRR, you can click on the finance this deal button and see the bridging options, click proceed, and then you start a quick process to get indicative terms. And basically, the team will engage with you on the same day, so you can get heads of terms once we get all the documents, which can, there are many cases that it's the same day or day after. And then to get funds in bridging, it really depends on two things: the valuation, that usually can be booked in 2 to 3 days, and then the legal process. So it really depends on the speed of the solicitors. But we had cases even if 5 or 6 working days, but there are cases that it takes more time. Bridging in general usually will be faster. Bridging is a great tool if you can't get a mortgage. So if you need to get a quick completion, if it's an auction purchase, or if you need to do some kind of refurb to the property, it can be light refurb to make the property habitable, to get a tenant in, to get a mortgage, or if you need to do more refurbishment to improve the property, and then basically you can use either flip strategy to sell the property or the BRR to get a remortgage at a higher value. I think, Sibi, there is another use case of landlord experience. So if you purchase a property for buy-to-let property, you need like 6 months of
Yeah, so we get this a lot. So we sometimes hear from our clients that they think they have to have owned the property for 6 months or let it out, but that's not the case. So rule of thumb is if you buy a property, using bridging finance or cash, you've done works to the property, so you've enhanced it. That justifies the uplift in value. So you can refinance on the open market value within 6 months, less than 6 months, as soon as you finish the works. Only where you can't refinance on the open market value within 6 months is where you've done no work. So if you've just bought it, below market value, you kind of maybe knew the vendor, and you've done no works, we can't justify the uplift in value to a lender. But there are loads of specialist lenders out there who will allow a refinance within 6 months, as long as we can show things like a schedule of works, invoices, receipts, maybe before and after photos as well to support an application. So definitely a transaction we can help with and we're really, really familiar with.
All right. Let's see if we have other questions.
We've got a question about documents being uploaded as the platform secure. So where we have clients who might worry about this sort of thing, you can also email documents to us. So we have a lot of clients who email us documents via things like Google Drive and things. So if you are concerned about, uploading documents to the platform, you can always email it via secure mail or something like that. But we've never ever had an issue with documents kind of going missing or being
Perhaps
hacked.
I will elaborate more about the security of the platform, because it's
Mm.
something that we invest a lot, and we have a dedicated team and just for this purpose. And basically, the platform is hosted on the cloud under security groups. All the communication is encrypted, the password are hashed, no one has access to your data. There are daily backups, and we encourage users to use the two-factor authentication, which is available from your settings page, and perhaps it's worth showing it. So if you go to the settings page, then security settings, here you can change your password, but you can also apply two-factor authentication. It's a very quick process, which will protect your account even further. So basically, what it means is that after you log in, you will need to enter a code that you receive to your mobile or to your email. So this is like another level of security. And yeah, but yes, if you want, there are other options to send the documents. So yeah.
We've got a few more questions. What about refinancing existing property that was cash purchased? Is it the same way to apply? How fast? Yeah, exactly the same way if you bought the property using bridging or another method. So if you already own the property that was bought in cash, very similar process. As long as you can evidence an uplift in value through works within 6 months, you can use the open market value, or you'd have to wait 6 months.
Yeah. It's about fees. So I think it's very between, like, it really depends on the type of the application, if it's a limited company or if you apply as an individual. And you have some benefits if you're a premium.
Yeah. To be honest, we do charge broker fees, and the reason we charge fees is for our service. So from start to finish, you have a point of contact, looking after you throughout the process. And that really is where the value is in our fee. Once you have a mortgage offer, or even when we submitted an application, we track it on our system every 2 weeks to carry out a rate review. And at the moment, we are updating mortgage offers every other week because rates are falling, and we'll always make sure that we are tracking those rates to see if a lower rate becomes available prior to completion. We're going to make sure that we switch you. So that really is where the value is in our fee. And to be completely transparent, what our fees are, we charge $595 for a personal mortgage and $850 for a limited company. But we can be flexible. We, at the end of the day, we want to build relationships with our clients, and if we need to be flexible on fees, we absolutely will do. So I just recommend to schedule a call and we can discuss your case just together.
And you can schedule a call with in this link. I will also share it on the chat. And yeah, then the question about whole of market, Simi.
Whole of market, yeah. So we can't say it's whole of market because there are a handful of lenders that we don't work with, but it's pretty much all of the lenders available. So as in terms of kind of your buy-to-let lenders, your mainstream lenders, your high street lenders, specialist lenders. So it's the majority of lenders except a tiny handful. So you're not going to be at a disadvantage because all of those top sourcing lenders you're seeing on the platform there, we work with. We've got really good relationships with all of our lenders as well. So we all have a business development manager who we can call throughout the underwriting process as well. So yeah. There's another question we've got about trading companies or limited company applications. So we can do trading companies. Not all lenders will lend to trading companies, but we do have quite a few lenders who will. So it'll just depend on how the company's set up, what the SIC codes are, how long it's been trading for, kind of look at the company profits as well. So trading companies are something we can help with. They're only specific products as well. So definitely get in touch with any of those queries we can help with. And then another question we've got is about HMOs. Yeah, we can advise on HMOs, small HMOs up to 6 bedrooms and also large HMOs from 7 bedrooms up to 20. So it just depends on the property. But yeah, we can do HMOs as well. So to give you a bit of an overview on what we advise on, it's so we primarily advise on buy-to-lets because our user base is largely buy-to-let. So we can also advise on residential mortgages, but mainly buy-to-let. So anything from limited companies, HMOs, multi-unit blocks, day one refinances. This is really where we sit within the market. So we've got really good relationships with our lenders, but we also have a really good insight into which lenders perform in terms of speed, underwriting, who doesn't ask for a lot of documents, who does, what their criteria is. So that really is in the value of Lendlord, is that, we are buy-to-let specialists and we know which lenders will do what, which just makes it easier for you throughout the process.
All right. Okay, so I'm not sure if we have any more questions. I will just show you again the benefit, how you can apply for the 50% off premium plan. Go to your settings page or click on the /premium URL that I shared on the chat. Then click add coupon, enter webinar 2808, click apply. You get it for 50% off for the first year. Instead of £99, 49.5. After that, the second year it will go to 99. Or you can still use the 12 months, 12 pounds per month option. If you apply or if you upgrade your account to premium, you will also get the benefits of the discounts on broker fees. And if you register to this webinar and upgraded to premium, or you are a premium user, you will get it doubled to £300 discount. So make sure you do it. Perhaps we can keep it the coupon for a few more hours. Yeah, let me see if we have any other questions.
I think we had a question about first-time landlords. So most lenders will require you to have some sort of landlord experience if you're purchasing HMO, but we do have quite a few specialist lenders who are fine with a first-time landlord. You just must have to own a property already, maybe a residential or a buy-to-let. Where you're a first-time buyer, you are going to be restricted a lot more. But first-time landlords with a HMO is absolutely fine. There's some really good lenders with great products who will do that.
All right. Yeah, so you have also the calendar link on the chat to schedule calls with our team. You can also use this chat box. We are trying to be available as much as we can. You can report bugs, you can put suggestions for new features, or ask any question or give any feedback. Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more content, and you can also upgrade to premium with the benefit of 50% off using the webinar 2808 code. Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining. Thanks, Simi.
Thank you, everyone.
and we will see you in the next webinar, and have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Bye.